What's up, fam squad? I I totally didn't forget that I was live. That didn't happen. Anyone who told you that is a liar. We're back. I went to my first convention in like 10 years. It was a fun time. Met some people. But that's not important right now because we have a big fat floppy that gives us superpowers. My mic is too sensitive, I think. Let's put that there. I don't know what the situation is with like. I don't think I have Alan Wake 2 on any platform. I don't think it's been on PS Plus free yet. But that is a problem for future person bans. Hey Blackstone. Oh, that's very kind of you. Thank you for the bits. I went to a convention today, and I sent you on Discord the person that we met. I don't know if you saw it or not. Let me just upgrade these. Okay, that's a bad place. The janitor told us how to fix the pumps and stuff. It's easy to get turned around in this game. Yeah, we met Alan Shimmerman. I thought his name was pronounced Shimerman, but I was wrong. It's not Alan, but I had Alan Wake on the brain. Armin Shimerman. That's right. Shimmerman. Sorry. Shit. Yeah. Unfortunately, the other main person that I wanted to meet, Vincent D'Onofrio, canceled in between us getting the tickets and the convention. So that's the only person I felt like standing in line to meet. There was Yuri Lowenthal there, but I didn't feel like standing in line. There was Tom Kenny, but he had the biggest line. I don't go to conventions pretty often because none of the. I haven't been to one in like 10 years because there's rarely interesting ones near me. Oh, hi. And they often just end up me being sadly looking at stuff that I can't afford. Are we done here yet? The coolant pumps, and I feel like there's something else we need to fix while we're down here. There was Jodie Benson, the voice of Ariel. There was like 3 Power Rangers. In any convention you go to, there's at least 2 Power Rangers, guaranteed. Nope. And I got a Godzilla and a Transformers poster. That's all I really felt like getting from there. Peter Weller was also on the guest list for this one, but they canceled. Oh, that's right. You told me about that panel, and I wished you good luck. I remember that. I remember things. The only downside is that right across from Shimmerman's booth was was Randy Quaid's booth, so I had to overlook that fact that I was breathing the same air as Randy Quaid. That didn't feel good. I know. He was there and randier than ever. I guess not. Well, being a right-wing madman doesn't have the stigma that it used to. And being a former fugitive also doesn't have the stigma that it used to. When I started streaming, I had this policy of trying to avoid talking about politics, and I still try to avoid talking about it, but I tried to like avoid pissing off like people with like more conservative views if they were chill, but now I don't even give a shit about that. Well, the last I heard of Randy Quaid, he would do like these political rants about the Russia hoax, the Russia interference hoax, where his face is like way too close to the camera. Okay. We don't need to be in here right now. So we'll come back to this later. But after this game, we have Alan Wake 2, which I don't know anything about, and then we have the multiplayer game that they made this year. And that'll be the end of our little Remedy journey. Let's get these fucking coolant pumps working.
I don't like that sound.
She has telekinesis because of a big floppy disk that she found.
Go to ship. Fix it fast. If the plant goes boom, we can throw the spoon in the cold.
Is he in the room somewhere? What does this say? I liked the complaint where the guy was complaining because the luxury bathroom teleported out of the building. So now he has to shit in the worst bathroom. I see you. Yeah, basically. Well, in the Max Payne movie that I think my dad watched, but I didn't. The drug in the first game, there's this drug that goes around causing a big crisis. In the movie, that drug causes people to like hallucinate angels and demons. But it doesn't reveal that till the end of the movie that those are hallucinations. So until then, this Max Payne movie just has these angelic beings showing up. And while the first game has like Norse mythological theming in it, and the second game is kind of themed around like Paradise Lost. The movie kind of removes all that. I didn't see it. My dad saw it, and he was like, "I just saw the worst movie," and I was like, "I could have told you not to watch that one. If it's based on a video game, don't watch it." It was still during that era. And still, generally, if it's based on a video game, you probably shouldn't watch it. We're still not fully out of that era. Oh, hi. We're getting some gems now. We're getting stuff that's like that you can say is good without like an asterisk next to it. But most of it's still pretty rough. I was thinking about Max Payne because Max Payne 3 was not made by the same team, and it kind of removes like this like the symbolism that they tried to weave into the story. It makes it more of a straightforward like action game, and also changes the setting and has none of the same characters. What people who don't like that change fail to mention is that the reason that it has an entirely new cast and setting is because all of the other characters besides Max were dead. So of course it was going to be like that. Oh, hi. Hello, Dead Space. The Sonic movies are, like, okay for what they are. I don't think they represent the games very well. The the takeaway I see from the new Mario movie, is that it's more accurate, but also because of that, it's far less interesting. Like, it's just by the numbers.
What the hell is that? Oh, that's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen.
And I had no interest in watching the Minecraft movie. Well, up until I would say I also want to clarify that animated adaptations tend to fare better. So I don't usually count those. I'm mainly talking about live action adaptations. I was like, yeah. I knew what you meant. But for, I think up until 2020, when you were talking about the best video game adaptations just in general, not really counting animated stuff, you would have had to say either the 1995 Mortal Kombat movie or the 2006 Silent Hill movie. That's generally were the agreed upon best ones. And no one was really going out of their way to call them like great films. Although Silent Hill was like that was a genuine passion project from a Silent Hill fan, so you could at least feel it there. Now Silent Hill was like a lot more of a genuine attempt to capture the games than basically anything else was back then. The 95 Mortal Kombat movie was basically a remake of Enter the Dragon. Is that the tournament one? Yeah. And that's the first Mortal Kombat game was basically a copy of that too. So not the most original thing in the world, but it was good for what it was. I have no idea where I'm going. I sneezed blood everywhere. The universally best regarded adaptations recently have actually come out of Netflix. Arcane and fucking Castlevania. I haven't seen Castlevania. The Yakuza games actually have two adaptations. There was one that was made like in 2007 and one that came out last year, but I haven't seen either of them. Watched the Halo show, and I was only able to get through 3 episodes of it before I had to give up. I don't know much about Halo the game. It was just an annoying show in general. Most of the series, Master Chief, the main character who wears the helmet most of the time, has his helmet off. And you also see his naked ass. And if I was in need of that, I would go to the internet. I don't need to pay Paramount Plus to see that. Down here is the last one we need. Lady, you used to clean toilets. There's no way that's the most disgusting thing you've ever seen. Okay. The heat of night got a little out of control.
Just hold together a little longer. Won't blow up. Let's go lift the lockdown.
So the lockdown is made such that it locks down the elevators, even to the director, unless you know a secret way. And the lockdown is only in one specific area. So if you're not in the area where you can lift the lockdown, you're just screwed unless the janitor helps you. Now this building is of course sentient. I don't know what she's looking for. She's mentioned her brother, but I don't know if he's like dead. Or what she was told about whatever happened. We haven't gotten much information so far. But her little brother did go missing during some weird event that was covered up by the Bureau. And there's like a mysterious entity that she talks to, which might be the player, but I'm not sure. And her resting bitch face is immaculate. Those guys up top are allies, so I'll try to remember not to shoot them. He is. She works for the big inventor that invented all of this weird shit. He might not be a friend, but she's good. He just wants to, like, come out here alive. I do not currently know how this connects to Alan Wake, but they are connected. The connections to Max Payne and Quantum Break, the other game they made, are a lot less direct because other companies own the rights to those games.
What's your read on all this?
Energy conversion's well below the acceptable percentage. Internal pressure's climbing so fast, I'm amazed the NSC is still holding. When it blows, we're all going with it.
But I fixed it.
Thanks, Frank. Real positive. Crew feels a lot safer when you're around.
Why are they talking about it like it's not fixed?
Try to
I don't
survive.
have time
Got
to
a lot
talk
on
about
the
that man's face. I just don't have time to deal with it. He looks like Benedict Cumberbatch and Rami Malek fused. Oh, hang on. Excuse me. I didn't realize the frames were dropping. Give me a second. Hmm. It's like there's not a distinction made between those two things, as far as I can tell, between sci-fi and supernatural. Let me go back to the guy so that everyone can hear my funny joke again. I don't know. Well, the guy that voices Max Payne was both the model and the voice for the former director of this place. And the voice of Alan Wake was the model and voice for the scientist guy, Dr. Darling. The face model and the voice of Alan Wake are two different guys. But the lore that I can gather so far is that a lot of these, like, altered world events that they call
We
them
need to hurry.
involve objects that have developed, like, some sort of, like, shared cultural meaning or, like, symbology. Like, this gun is speculated to have previously been Mjolnir and Excalibur, just this weapon used by righteous heroes or whatever. And this is the current form that it's taking. And the floppy disk that gave us telekinesis was full of stolen nuclear code, so it became kind of a nexus for, like, the feelings and emotions brought about by the Cold War, and it gave it power. And that's kind of what I've gathered so far. It does not seem like it wants me to go in there. Now, Remedy has some good ideas. They just don't really make games that are gonna be, like, huge blockbusters, like, best, like, selling, like, millions of units. They're more sleeper hits. But AAA studios, refuse to have that kind of patience, so they kind of get put under that expectation anyway. Deary me. Nope. That rifle butt did not like my face. Alan Wake was, of course, about darkness and the way stories and media influence our understanding of reality. Probably took a little influence from Neil Gaiman, but hopefully not a lot. It was mainly Twin Peaks and In the Mouth of Madness, I believe, were the main influences there. Is it The Mouth of Madness, the fucking John Carpenter movie? I can never remember what it's called.
I don't like that sound.
I forgot to check in at the control point. And actually, I need to use the little person man's room real quick, so I will put on... I will take a risk and put on a trailer for Quantum Break, which is the game we just finished playing a couple days ago. Made by these same people. Oh, that trailer is set to a Nirvana song. I can't use that.
Come as you are, as a friend, as an old enemy. Take your time, hurry up. Choice is yours, don't be late.
Play the greatest games lineup in Xbox history.
The greatest lineup, huh? That... I don't know why that started playing. Please ignore this hedgehog and his gun. That is live action Iceman. I forget what his name is. I know it's Sean and Aaron Ashmore, but I don't remember which one he is. He's the one that played Iceman, which means his brother is the one that played Jimmy Olsen. Lance Reddick is also in there. We finished playing this game a couple of days ago. That game, they made a live action show which does feature the main actors, but mostly stars secondary characters, because I think they didn't have money to fully hire some of these people. But a live action show that like changes based on the choices you make. It's a very weird game. I don't know how to classify it. Like, I enjoyed it. I don't know if it's good or not. I casually speak as I'm being shot at with rockets. But it was an interesting experiment. Like it said, it was an Xbox exclusive, and Xbox put a lot of money behind it and the marketing, but it did not really pay off because, quite frankly, it's not the kind of game that is intended to be like a big blockbuster, but they just decided to put endless money into it anyway. Because corporate people don't know any other solution besides just funding more money into something that has no guarantee of success. Like, Max Payne 3 sold pretty respectably, but it still did not meet their expectations. And Max Payne 3 had a very long development that ended up costing about the same as, like, Grand Theft Auto 5, I think. It ended up costing about 3 or 4 times what they thought it would cost, basically. So so they had to adjust their sales expectations to justify the amount of money that was ultimately spent, which is a lot, which is frequently how it goes. I can look it up. I didn't get in trouble for any of Max Payne 3. But let me see. I got in trouble, both of my videos, both of my streams for Quantum Break. There's a couple licensed songs, but they seem to be missable, so I don't think I saw them. But YouTube actually blocked my streams, my VODs of Quantum Break because of music. So currently, until I like appeal or something or like edit it, there's not no one can watch those outside of the VODs, which only last like a week. It wouldn't be YouTube if it didn't spend 90% of the time making your life harder. You know that now that Twitch has actually started tackling the view botting problem and actually taken down like 75% of the view bots, I would love it if they took on these spam bots. Viewership on the entire platform of Twitch has been went down like 30%, I think, because they took down a lot of the automated view bots, which I didn't believe they were actually going to crack down on, because they have, from a financial perspective, they don't have a lot of incentive to do so. But I think the advertisers finally caught on that some of these channels are mostly bots and they're advertising to nobody, and demanded that something be done about it. Is charged his troopers.
Lockdown. Only be lifted by a directorial override.
When I do hit affiliate, it means that they're gonna start putting ads whenever you switch to my stream. Unless I do like a 3-minute ad break every hour. So, while it's gonna be a little bit before I have to deal with that, I think
That's it. The other sector should be open now.
because dealing with like ad breaks interrupting the content is really fucking annoying. I think I'm just gonna take 3-minute breaks every hour so that people don't get interrupted when I'm in the middle of something.
You two should get to know each other.
But that's for later. The person she's talking to, I don't know who he is or what's going on. But let's go back to Emily. This spirally stuff looks like the inside of the alien ship from Star Trek the Motion Picture with like the trippy visuals.
Hope has asked us to document the hiss incantation, she calls it.
You mean like in person?
In person, with a pencil and paper. I think she's trying to get us killed.
Jesse, you made it.
Let's see this video of our buddy.
So much is expected from the director. The responsibility, the privilege to steer the Bureau into dangerous waters and safely out again. To inspire and lead its people, to protect them. The board is there to advise you, but they want things.
The connection to Mjolnir is that, and Excalibur is that only the person chosen to be the next director can pick up the gun, and they have to fire it at their heads to prove that the director.
For anything else. If the forces contained here,
I don't know if they have to fire it at their heads, but they usually do.
Age of superstition, terror, death. Assuming you think we ever really left that behind.
And if you live, then hey, you're the director. Deal with it.
And the lockdown goes into effect. I implemented this security measure in my first years as director. I knew we were vulnerable. I'd personally seen the cost of sloppiness. I made sure the internal lockdown could only be lifted by a directorial override, only to be used when the...
Now that Quantum Break game I showed a trailer for, that is owned by Microsoft, not Remedy, who have... So, without, like, basically paying Microsoft, they can't directly reference a lot of what goes on in that game. But they make reference to Alan Wake pretty frequently in that game. they talk about his books, and there's like a weird TV show where Alan Wake is a murderer, and there's like a blackboard full of cryptic clues about Alan Wake. So like, their approach to like building a universe, which had been kind of a gold rush in the late 2010s, was a bit more esoteric than typical.
And you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes, of course.
I cannot believe how racist and how gay her haircut is.
Listen,
It's
Emily.
insane.
Screw it. Just tell her. I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through. That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside.
Okay.
But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being. What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan. I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the Ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved.
This also happened way before Pope started working here.
The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along. She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jesse. Now, cross-referencing them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes. But one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director.
This is not...
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the Hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan.
Dylan.
I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my keycard. The sector elevator will take you there.
Hell yeah. You know, the stuff that Pope is talking about is not that different from the sort of conspiracies that real-life women that have this haircut try to talk to you about.
I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit.
Oh, here's the janitor again.
I helped you. You owe me now.
With his beaker
And when
haircut.
time comes, I will come calling.
Oh, you saw that news story, did you? Yeah. Well, that was the second like CEO that tried to steal that stole a baseball from a kid, and like this that happened like exactly a week before with like some other CEO. So it happened twice in 2 weeks.
Hi, Jesse.
But in her case, the dad didn't want to deal with it, so she just let her have the ball.
See you soon.
Be careful out there.
Even though the video indicates that she never actually touched the ball. That she never actually had her hands on it. CEOs are having like are getting made fools of in stadiums like at an alarming rate now. Oh, what was? Was it a? Was it a Korn? It wasn't Korn. It was a Coldplay concert, right? Where the CEO got caught on the kiss cam, and they like ducked down to hide from the camera, which was so suspicious that people looked up who he is. Yeah, and found out that it was a CEO kissing someone that's not his wife. If they hadn't freaked out, they would have been fine.
Somebody thought this video would make for great internal communications. I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi. So, this is where the magic happens. Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now.
I was confusing it because there was a Korn concert recently where someone was jacking off in the stands.
There is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality.
I'm sorry. I know that's not funny.
So,
but it is funny.
Assuming you have the necessary clearance and do follow the safety protocols.
Oh, let me look it up.
Otherwise, bad things will happen.
Yeah, that's the voice actor for Alan Wake is Dr. Darling, but let me look it up. Let me see, actually, if it would be worth showing this video. If I could get away with showing this. The Korn Concert Masturbator. Let's see what that gets us. Oh, this was actually in August, but it seems to have
never been to a concert.
Let me see if I can. I promise. So this happened back in August. Sorry, I was just looking at the clip. Let's see. I don't have any good justification for showing you this. That's enough of that, I think. Just so like everyone understands that there's no ambiguity about what that was. Because that's a crazy accusation, but there's no wiggle room, is what I'm saying. Concerts and like sporting events have been going wild, man. No one likes Korn that much. I'm recording this to my computer so I can cut this out if necessary. But man, I walk to the beat of my own drum, you know? But YouTube does have tools that let you trim out offending sections. So we'll just see. Yeah. Korn is also the one where their lead singer had a microphone stand designed by H.R. Giger that has her tits out. The microphone stand does. So maybe they just got him a little excited. Is it really necessary to sing to the plants? I'd rather my VODs get in trouble. Well, I wouldn't rather that. But I would rather stay true to myself and the random shit I like to show people than be sanitized. This game kindly features an option to turn off all the copyrighted music, which is present in radios that you can listen to. Yeah. Normally these sorts of people do it behind. Hey, there's fall damage. Did you know that? Okay, so it was a woman that was recording that incident. The corn, the corn cob incident. And normally, men like that go to town while they're sitting behind a woman. He had a very innovative approach. But that was all just to demonstrate my point that concerts and sporting event stadiums are going psycho mode over there. He misread the name of the band and was waiting for a different kind of show to start. Maybe so. I mean, the kiss cam incident is like, I think that's new. I don't think anyone's ever tried to hide from the kiss cam before. But there was another, besides the Karen that stole a ball recently, there was another CEO that also stole a baseball from a kid that had already picked it up. And was saying, hey, that's mine, don't do that. And the ball was deliberately thrown to the kid. But luckily the kid got the ball. Well, he didn't get the ball back, but the player met up with the kid and gave him a different ball. So the kid technically got something better, but had to be humiliated publicly first. So so it would have been ideal if that didn't happen at all. Oh dear. I don't know why, but that corn guy reminds me of that stupid joke. I apologize for pulling down my pants at the gender reveal party. I thought we were all participating. Let me reset my Discord. Yeah. Like, there's no defense for it that the cornjacker could possibly have for it. They did not put up a no jork in it sign. There were no instructions given to such an effect. I keep thinking that I need to reload the gun, and I keep switching the forms by accident. But you can switch into like a shotgun mode and probably other modes. I don't know if these shelters have, like, a gameplay purpose. No. Oh, there we go. And I see the third one. Which means there's another secret, like, a secret superpower in here, I think.
She's in trouble.
Oh, maybe not. But this building is like an eldritch, like almost sentient building that they just kind of have to manage the best they can. Because it's discreet and secure. Nope. Named enemies. Oh, we need to find a fucking... We need to find a checkpoint so that we don't have to go as far. She probably did feel maximum pain. This is not the right way. Alright, it just started... I don't know... It started playing the Poets of the Fall song, and I don't know if I can get away with that or not. They just jam Poets of the Fall in this soundproof room. The next checkpoint we get to, we need to unlock the next form of our gun. Are you okay in there, buddy? Or... They also actually explain why much more antiquated technology is used in this building is because it's like it's connected to this like weird dimension, and it's kind of based on like the human, like the collective unconscious, uh and like newer, more modern technology is too new to be fully integrated into that unconscious, so newer technology tends to just be dangerous to bring in here. No one's allowed to bring cell phones in here because they typically just explode. I don't know. I mean, this place probably is hack proof because I mean, look at it. But butt supplement. I'm 12 years old. I also know that it's not pronounced butt, but I don't care. This is the board. This is who we take orders from. That's all the information I have.
The astral plane. Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes, keeping in mind that these are staggeringly complex systems, and simplification does them no justice. Now, the white non-space, the ever-present inverted black pyramid, the board, all linked, intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls them. Yes.
That was startlingly unhelpful. Let's equip that instead. Did we unlock any new outfits? Oh, we can't seem to access the outfits right now. Never mind. So one of Quantum Break's flaws was that there was a lot of lore for you to read, but most of it was not important, and most of it was also really long. But they've simplified it in this game. Oh boy.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind, even though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions. Apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement, native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made. We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head.
I don't know.
It ruptured out.
I don't know what the connection is.
Relentless
Just yet.
predator pursuing thoughts, minds, lethal to those the entity feeds on. Proper containment.
But the the fact that this was setting up a connection to Alan Wake, which had been, it took them 13 years to make Alan Wake 2. Because they weren't allowed to make it because they didn't have the funding. So, like, the ideas for that, apparently, I'm getting all this from Sage, but apparently the ideas from it were constantly changing until around when they finally got the green light to make it. Was there a point? Oh, yeah. But apparently, whatever connections this has to this game has to Alan Wake were kept close to the vest during the game's development. I didn't know when I played this. I hadn't played Alan Wake at the time, so I didn't realize this was connected to anything. I can't believe keeping the evil pyramid in that room was a bad idea. looks like that plan did not work. Oh, I was missing the point. We gotta... Well, first of all, we gotta... Now I don't know what that does exactly. Okay, I think we need to get it in this room. And then lock the door.
Doing with that thing?
Someone answer, damn it! We need backup down here.
Marshall, are you still there?
Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
Don't know. I don't know what it does. Please, chill out. Now, during my quest, I am nearing the end of my quest to watch every Godzilla movie. I have... I watched all the Japanese Godzilla media. I didn't watch every monster movie that the company made, but I watched every movie with Godzilla in it. And I'm almost done with the Monsterverse, as they call it. I have Monarch Legacy of Monsters. I'm about halfway through that show, and then I get to rewatch Godzilla Kong: The New Empire, which I had I was very sick when I went to go see that movie, so I was not having a good time. But I'm willing to give it see it again with a more open mind. I appreciated that they dropped the pretense and just acknowledged that these movies had become action figures. Godzilla vs. Kong and the New Empire are where I started. I don't think like the human stuff is like particularly like stunning or groundbreaking, but Godzilla vs. Kong and Godzilla Kong: The New Empire is where I actively started being annoyed by the humans. It became like a Michael Bay Transformers movie with Godzilla vs. Kong. But Monarch Legacy of Monsters is actually pretty good so far. Wyatt and Kurt Russell play like differently aged versions of the same character, and they bring energy to it. And it actually has like world building, and like it actually feels like a world for once. It has world building. Well, with Godzilla vs. Kong, they didn't even pretend that there was a good reason, that there was any story reason to bring back Millie Bobby Brown. They just completely, transparently were bringing her back because of who she was. But the previous movies are not quite like that. Kong Skull Island had memorable characters. Kong Skull Island is the only movie that I didn't see in theaters. The rest of them I went to see in theaters, and they were kind of in one ear, out the other. The X-ray light box. This is a brain. In case you were confused. With the evil orangutan that has like a skull whip. That's what I mean by like it just became action figures. Godzilla vs. Kong also felt that way, but I don't think they fully realized that it had become action figures. It had been I think it had been since it came on video that I had seen Skull Island. And I had not realized that fucking the 2015 Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, the fucking Toby Kebbell is in it. So that was a jump scare. I didn't need to be reminded about that. Here we go.
I see it. Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
Hey, buddy, you doing okay? And they're actually, besides the 4 movies and Monarch Legacy of Monsters, is it 4? 1, 2, 3. It's 5 movies in Monarch Legacy of Monsters. There's actually another installment of the Monsterverse called Skull Island that was released on Netflix a couple years ago. It's an animated series that I did not hear about until a week ago, because Netflix doesn't fucking promote anything that they make, ever. Don't know what the puzzle is. But anyway, Skull Island, not Kong Skull Island, just Skull Island from 2023 was pretty fun. But unfortunately, it did the thing that a lot of the Netflix shows do, where it didn't resolve. It ended on a cliffhanger, and then they didn't make no more. Because Netflix never fucking renews anything either. Well, I don't want to hurt these people. Or do I? Is there some kind of clue here? Give me a second. But Lance Reddick having a large role in Quantum Break was a very weird coincidence. The fact that the villain the villains of Quantum Break were a company called Monarch was also a weird coincidence because of what I had been watching, the MonsterVerse. But also Lance Reddick being a large part in it was a weird coincidence because Lance Reddick is in Godzilla vs. Kong for like exactly 20 seconds. So presumably something got cut. The people that they hire to do nothing. Joe Morton was in King of the Monsters 2019 for about 90 seconds. Which still worked out better than him being Cyborg's dad, I guess. I don't know what's going on in here. I think we're just gonna drop this. Wait, was this here the whole time? I think we're just gonna go back to the main mission. Because I remember the marketing for Godzilla 2014 pushed Bryan Cranston really heavily, and then in the opening credits it says "and Bryan Cranston," and you're like, oh no. It might have been. I know he was on Smallville, Joe Morton was, but I don't remember who he played. He was like during the early seasons, but I don't know if he'd done any other DC material besides that. Well, Bryan Cranston was like giving a level of effort that was quite frankly unwarranted. And no one else was doing that much work. Ken Watanabe is the kind of person that has like a presence to him, but the Ken Watanabe's role just wasn't there for it. They mainly just had him look confused.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
And then he died in the second one.
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden, hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
You got that right.
More of you? Really?
I know that, I forget his name, but in Aquaman, the DC EU Aquaman, that Black Manta's dad voiced Black Manta. They couldn't legally call him Black Manta in Justice League Unlimited, but he voiced him in that cartoon, and that's why he was Black Manta's dad. Well, the other connection with Ken Watanabe is that his character's last name is Serizawa, who was the scientist in the original Godzilla that came up with the oxygen destroyer that killed Godzilla at the end of that movie. There's no other connection beyond that name. But you were correct in that that's how it feels. Michael Beach. They couldn't use Aquaman or his characters after a certain point in Justice League Unlimited because they were producing a TV pilot featuring Aquaman.
Welcome to the party, ma'am. Marshall is right down the hall.
Can I change my outfit here? No. I want to go change my outfit. I don't remember his name, but the Aquaman pilot, it used to, I don't know if it's streaming anywhere. It used to be streaming on DC's like streaming service, but I don't think it's, ever since that went defunct, I don't think it's been streaming anywhere. But that pilot featured, I don't remember his name, the guy that played Green Arrow in Smallville. But that was before he played Green Arrow in Smallville.
I hope the survivors and research are closer to finding a solution for this.
I assure you, the Aquaman pilot did not cost nearly as much money as you think. I promise you that. It was on the CW. As flattering as this outfit is on her, I don't think we need to go that hard right now. So we'll just go back to her civilian outfit.
This is only happening in Executive, right? The other sectors might be fine, right?
The only other thing I know about the Aquaman pilot, I haven't seen it, but is that Lou Diamond Phillips played Arthur Curry's dad. I don't think he's his like biological dad because Aquaman was played by a white guy, but it is there. Sage actually made a decent point in that the map that they give you in this game is not super helpful, which leads you to rely on like these signs and actually learning the layout of this place like in real life. And I don't know if that was the intent behind making the map not super useful, but that's a thing to think about. I knew that I had found the kindred spirit in Chris Herman when I tuned into his stream and he was talking about the Bat embargo in Justice League Unlimited. How they weren't allowed to use any Batman characters besides Batman. That's when I knew that I had found a place to call home. It was because the Batman was a cartoon that was being produced alongside of it. I mean, your reasoning is correct that Superman was allowed to be all over the place, but both the Batman cartoon and the Nolan movies were like ramping up.
Welcome to the party, ma'am.
That was the official reasoning. Try taking a shit now, idiot. Ma'am? He took a cursed rubber duck home. Is that this guy? Why did you kill him in the toilet? Do you know that there's a dead man in your toilet? No.
Marshall is waiting for you in the Luck Lab, just down the hall.
In the Luck Lab. There is a DLC episode to this, like whenever we beat this game, that apparently ties into Alan Wake much more heavily. Hello.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton.
Well, actually, there is...
Head of Bureau Operations. Zacharias Day.
There is actually a reason behind this, and this is basically confirmed.
Trench told
Is
me
that...
to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you
Is
this
that...
through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this.
Is that somehow Disney
Really?
owns the right to show Batman in a live-action television show? I don't know if it's actually Disney, but someone owns the rights to that, and it's not Warner Brothers.
At least she seems to know what's going on here.
So they actually can't.
Know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your
And
fire.
that is why.
That's a good answer.
Is she?
And that is why there are like
Darling insistence
7
is
different
based
shows about Gotham
This should help you get past
that don't have Batman in
Talk more,
them.
keep clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door
I
behind
don't
you.
know the
Sorry,
specifics
but we can't
of
risk a breach.
how this happened.
Seen that funky mirror they're studying down the hall? I heard it steals your soul.
Don't worry. We've already sold yours.
That could be. I do not know the specifics. So take it with a grain of salt. But that's... I have heard that from several sources. The Penguin, I guess, also is like that, because it doesn't have Batman in it, but it's also the kind of show that that's shouldn't have Batman in it, so I don't necessarily count that. But that's why there was that Gotham Knights show on the CW. That's why Batwoman didn't have Bruce Wayne in it. That's why Gotham was the way it was. That's why they could not add... They could not use Bruce Wayne in Smallville, so they replaced him with Green Arrow. That's why there were instead of a Batman show, there was originally plans to make like a Dick Grayson series around when Smallville was getting big. So I guess I don't know what the... I don't know how far back this problem goes. This has been Person Man's Yaps about nothing. Episode 276. Can you not put big letters in front of my face? But they never show... I think it's specifically the suit. Because Bruce Wayne is in Gotham too, but in Titans, he's never in the suit. Never ever. They can only get away with showing the Batman for like a couple seconds. That might also be why that Birds of Prey show was the way it was. I don't know if that was the reason that that show was made that way. But, like, there's a large body of evidence. We're not gonna get like a straight answer out of basically anyone currently working at Warner Brothers. So that, like, speculation is the best we got. It is not the same reasoning behind why Sony kept putting out Spider-Man properties without Spider-Man in them. Sony was doing that because Sony is bad at making movies. Now, I actually watched Batwoman in its entirety, which I'm not proud of. By any means. And it certainly did not deserve that level of commitment. I don't know if I just have a crush on her, and that's all it is. I don't think anybody was doing good work in that show. But unfortunately, all of my excuses end past the first season because she's no longer in it because she broke her neck doing an unsafe stunt because they wouldn't pay money. That was not the most dignified fight I've ever been in. That's around when I fell off of the CW Arrowverse in general. I didn't watch The Flash past that. because that was also during COVID times, so they had to end their seasons abruptly. And when the elongated man's actor said something racist, so he had to be hastily written out of the show. It was old racist tweets from like years prior, but like those are still fair game. The actor that played Elongated Man in the CW Flash, who would become like a regular. He had to be written out of the show, which they did by setting him on fire, so that he had to wear a suit to cover his burns. And so he couldn't talk, and he just gave like a big thumbs up as he was leaving the series.
Collins, what's the situation? Squad C hasn't made it back. They're still out there, which means we should assume they're KIA, ma'am. Only exit is back through parakinesiology, but then there's no way we're making it to the lab. Only option is to hold here and wait for an opening. Whatever we got into our final push.
I also probably shouldn't have watched The Flash as long as I did. Well, he was... I mean, he shouldn't have done it regardless. But he might have... The incoming the showrunner that was taking over the show was black, so like I think he should have faced some sort of penalty for those tweets regardless. But but there's no way he was getting away with that, is what I'm saying. Do recommend if you want to do a coin toss between, or like a die roll between being finding something funny, finding something confusing, or finding something upsetting. If you want to take that gamble, I would recommend looking at the Snyder Cut subreddit, like the Snyder fan base, because some of the shit that they had been posting about the new Superman movie is like, half of it I cannot tell if it's a joke. it is sort of morphed into a right-wing echo chamber. Because a lot of the people who don't like the new Superman are doing it for like right-wing reasons that nobody understands. More like woke man. Got him. What does this say?
The Forest of Positive Interactions. So I play this and get in the tank. Okay. Self-reflection can bring answers. I read that somewhere.
There was a thread on, I think it's gone, because I couldn't find it when I wanted to earlier, but there was a when Superman was like doing really well after it came out, there was speculation on the Snyder subreddit, on the Snyderverse Bros, that that success was manipulated, and it was mostly the same people buying thousands of tickets. The most unbelievable horseshit you've ever heard in your life. That is how desperately they want to justify this DCU being a success with the way that the Snyderverse petered out. And it's ironic because it was actually determined that the big Snyder Cut movement on Twitter, this was actually proven, that it was mostly propped up by bots. At least at the start. The big surge of activity towards that movement was started by bots.
No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard.
This was proven through investigation.
No response.
They claimed Zack Snyder was behind it, but they didn't really provide any evidence of that claim. I didn't see anything to indicate that Zack Snyder himself had anything to do with it.
No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate.
Well, this was like 3 or 4 years ago that all this stuff came out.
You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan...
Oh, those are mannequins, never mind.
Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
Well, the conspiracy for the new Superman was that James Gunn paid these groups to, like, artificially boost... I think this thread is long since gone, but he paid these groups to artificially boost the ticket numbers by just artificially buying tickets. and there was whispers about like a criminal investigation, even though that what they're describing is not actually illegal. So they need to calm down. Even if it was true, that's not in fact a crime. If someone did like something like that, it would be scummy, but I don't know if it would be illegal.
Altered item number 52A, analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli.
One of these days, I will know where I'm going in this game, but that's not today. Did I show... Have I shown on here the fuck... Let me see if I can find it. The Snyder Reddit post about the absolute, like, travesty that James Gunn made of Crypto the dog. Let me see if I have it. From their perspective, it was an absolute travesty. Let me see if it's here. I don't remember if I've shown this screenshot or not. But I think about this like once a week, and I do not know if it's a joke. The pinnacle of the canine physical form. That's not how we cast Superman either. We don't cast Superman based on who's the most ripped. Why would we cast this jacked dog? I don't even know. That also doesn't look like a particularly healthy breed of dog. Anyway. Oh, we have it. We have the code. Detour. I appreciate the censorship, but yeah. Yeah. In the new 52, they like temporarily made Crypto like a big scary wolf. Because the new 52 was built entirely around like teenage sensibilities. But now we can actually go through this hypnosis lab and actually solve the puzzle. Yeah. was certainly a thing. Apparently, that Authority movie that that Gunn was planning is dead in the water. Most likely canceled. Oh, hi. How are you, fine gentlemen? Don't know. It's the thing is that that Authority movie was like in the initial slate. I wouldn't say that necessarily says anything about Milestone. I don't think we're getting Milestone things in a while, but I assume that that Authority movie is why the engineer was Lex Luthor's right-hand woman. And apparently it was going to kind of star Hawkgirl, which is why spoilers, she does something spoilery at the end, near the end of Superman. Telling me I can't yap and game at the same time? I thought this was America. But apparently it's been all but confirmed to be at least heavily postponed, that movie. Excuse me, whoa. I have no reason. I firmly believe that that was in the cards. That seems like something James Gunn would do. Of course, you can't include Apollo and Midnighter without them being gay, but I think James Gunn specifically would lean into it as much as possible, is what I mean. Yeah, I think any other filmmaker, especially given the climate, would try to go easy on it. Is what I mean. Whereas I don't think James Gunn gives much of a shit about that. Nothing he has ever done has led me to believe that. We will make it, I promise. What a travesty that these men are in my way. Oh. But spoiler alert, I believe that is why Hawk Girl, near in the climax of Superman, murders murders someone, and then that is never like acknowledged. I believe that's what that was setting up for. I'm glad that she assumed the position as she was dying. I need to start using my shield more. I like that you're collecting these little cursed artifacts that give you superpowers. I think that's neat. I need to upgrade how much health these little pickups give me. Because it's not a lot right now. Oh, actually, I forgot to actually show. I only bought 2 things at the convention. Because I don't have much money. And it was already like $80 for both me and my dad to get in, and then it was $20 for the celebrity signing. But I did, where is it? I did decide to buy 2 posters. I don't have hardly any nerdy stuff, because I never really vibed with like having like displaying stuff as a kid. But I did decide to indulge. Let me see, where is it? There was a guy selling. There were people selling posters, and the poster at the front of the rack in plain view was this Godzilla poster. So I decided to take that as a sign. And give me one more second. and the second one I bought was this. I don't know what it's. I don't know what this poster is like. I know this Transformers poster. I know there's a lot of Japanese media, exclusive media from Transformers. Because I'm also a big Transformers fan, but I don't know what this is specifically from, if anything. I'm just waiting to get frames to put those up. I don't go to a lot of conventions because there never seem to be particularly interesting ones around here. And also, they're expensive to go to, and a lot of it just boils down to you looking at stuff that you can't afford. But I also have a ton of photos of like cosplayers. I accidentally there were several Starfires, of course, but there was a Starfire cosplayer who I think bought a costume that was a little too small for her, and while I was taking a picture of her, she had a little wardrobe malfunction. So I don't know why I'm telling you that story beyond that I think it's funny. Presume that and I think that she went to go get it adjusted afterwards. She was in like a corner where there was only like 2 or 3 people around. I think she was there while they figured out what to do about her costume. But she was nice enough to let me take a picture of her, even though she probably knew that was about to happen. Maybe it shrunk in the watch, I don't know. There were at least... Well, all of the Ravens that I saw came with a Starfire. There was about 5 Ravens, and there was, they each came with a Starfire. There was a whole crew of the Teen Titans cartoon. There was one group that had all 5 of them. But every Starfire I saw was accompanied by a Raven. And some of them were doing comic Starfire, which was a bold choice. Because it means that you have to have booty cheeks out, or at least pretend to have booty cheeks out. Well, the modern costumes aren't much better. The New 52 costume was about the worst, because then it's... in the New 52, she was, like, promiscuous and scantily dressed, and they were no longer even trying to pretend that it was empowering. Okay. It took a long time to get here, but we're here. I think we'll try to do one more story mission. And then try to call it. Okay. That is... As far as I know, that's right. Oh, hello. How dare you solve that puzzle? I'm just gonna look it up, which I should have done earlier. Oh, that's the wrong solution. How about that? Amazing. That's the solution that I found was to a completely different puzzle, apparently. You know, sometimes I wonder if people click on this hoping for someone that's good at games. I hope not, because they're having a bad time.
Please state your name for the record. Paul Warren, Astronaut First Class, and you are aware that exposure to the
And we've got a new superpower. That I don't know how to use. Hmm? Oh, okay. Poke your head out, please. Thank you. Now he's our buddy. There's like
The X-ray light box is purely voluntary.
there's like 3 other like missions to get more stuff, to get more superpowers, but for right, you gotta be shitting me. Now, if there's nothing else, I will be on my merry way. Let's at least see if we can figure out what...
This should be interesting.
Welcome to my guided imagery experience.
What are we doing?
Exercise 1. The forest of positive interaction.
私は徳井義美博士。私を信じて任せてください。
My name is Dr. Yoshimi Tokui. Trust my words. I'm here for you.
目を閉じて心を開いてください。あなたは浜辺に
There was also like at the convention there was like a 9 or 10-year-old kid who was dressed as the Condiment King from Batman.
Find yourself.
That's the most powerful child I've ever seen.
さざ波の音が聞こえ、遠くにカモ
It
メ
was
ガニ
great.
ポテトチップスの袋をつついてますね。
The waves are rolling in, and the seagulls are fighting over a discarded bag of potato chips.
ハラペーニョ味のようです。
I believe they're jalapeno flavored.
沖の方に何か見えます。森が海の上に浮かんでいます。
I see something in the middle of the ocean. They appear to be trees.
もしかしたら人を遠ざけようとする今のあなたの気持ちを暗示しているのかもしれません。
Perhaps they are ocean trees. Or perhaps they are metaphors for how you push people away.
それが何なのか一緒に
There was also a pyramid head from Silent Hill, but it was more one of those.
Let's find out together.
It was less a costume and more one of those art installations that you just attach yourself to. So you just end up staying there for like for 8 hours because you can't move.
森は寂しそうです。
I have no clue what's going on right now.
The trees look lonely. Why don't you talk to them?
The happy little trees. Oh.
森にささやきかけましょう。あなたは愛されるに値すると、誰もが愛されるに値すると、森もうなずいています。
You whisper to the trees. You tell them.
Aside from that Starfire, I declined to ask anyone to take their pictures, so most of the ones I have are guerrilla filmmaking.
育んでいくのでしょう。
They will now go on to form
I was afraid that if I asked
respectful
anyone else to
relationships
take a picture, their boobs would also pop out.
or shrubs. Whatever
That's
they
a joke.
prefer.
さあ、森をそっとしておいてあげましょ
Now let's leave these trees to their love.
う。覗き見は失礼ですからね。
Voyeurism is
お
impolite.
や、何か不穏なものを感じます。何でしょう。
I sense a disturbance in our love garden. A menace.
行ってみましょう。森の危機かもしれません。
A forklift?
Go find it. Do not let it darken our forest of emotions.
フォークリフトです。
Yeah.
この森にはふさわしくありません。巨大なタイヤで
It is forklifts.
道が荒らさ
Oh
れてしま
no.
います。
A forklift. It does not like the tree's romance.
Huh?
It is ruining our lovely beach with its hateful tires.
なんということでしょう。機械を止めてください。 あのカモメには家族がいます。
It ran over one of the gulls. Such bloodshed. Turn off the machine. That gull had a family.
さっきのポテトチップスはお腹に赤ちゃんがいる奥さんへのプレゼントでした。あの機械を止めなければ。
The potato chips were for his pregnant wife. The forklift must be stopped.
Okay. I don't know. I just touched something and then we got in this sensory deprivation chamber. and now the forklifts are murdering seagulls.
You did it. The murderous machine will kill no more. The trees can love undisturbed.
フォークリフトも孤独な木々ももうありません。あなたの心は安らぎと慈愛に満たされているはずです。
Our beach is no place for forklifts.
This is not dissimilar to how sensory deprivation chambers work, because there's no sensory input. Obviously, like your brain just makes up weird shit. But I don't know what this is for.
Oh my, it seems we're all out of time.
This does not seem that paranormal.
That actually was relaxing. And strangely insightful.
I don't think it was that insightful. That's a big anyway. Hey, director Jesse, what the fuck are you doing? Where was I? Hey. Oh, fuck off. I have no time for this. Ooh, now we can rebound shit. You'd love to see it. Let's at least get to Darling's lab before we move on. I wasn't planning on streaming today, but but we decided to call the convention early, so I figured why not. At least we stopped that murderous forklift. Beyond that, I don't know what useful got accomplished. See, my idea for my, like, fake paranormal department show would be, like, someone, like someone the pilot would be someone sneaks their way in here into a building that's built all crazy like this, but there's actually nothing in there. There's literally nothing interesting going on besides people either making hoaxes or trying to avoid doing work.
You let me here. Any idea how to make it work?
the most...
Again, Director. It appears we have a new problem. We need to get the HRA machine working.
I've replaced a couple of spark plugs, but this looks a bit more complicated.
Darling must have...
Holy shit.
Randomness isn't in his nature. The punch cards, the symbols, the terminals. How do they connect?
I'll see what I can do.
That is certainly a gun.
So, we need to find all the punch cards.
At this fucking building can be easy. So one thing that I wasn't able to find it, but I do remember there's a document that explains all of the vending machines in this building. The items they carry are just completely white bags with black text saying what the food is. And the reason that that's the case is so that if reality shifts, you will basically immediately be able to tell if the packaging is different, if it's that bland and minimalist. And that's just the kind of world building they do here. What in the...
Each punch card should correspond to a terminal.
I get that. I really do. I understand where you're coming from, lady. But I don't feel like using my brain anymore. So I think we're gonna call it. I might skip Sunday because I've been kind of burning the candle at both ends. So let's put that there. Oh, you are very generous, Blackstone. Thank you for the bits. But yeah, everybody should take easy and stay safe. This is a threat.